if I can't move this to right up here. Listen to my music loud. Texting me and telling me I'm dead. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. How's everybody doing today? Miss Megan, how are you doing? If you're in here, please smash that screen. Please share the live. We are just getting started. We are just getting started. Welcome in. Welcome in. You're doing good? Dude, I hope so. This is a pretty nice Saturday, I'm not gonna lie. A little bit chaotic on the outside, but it seems like everything's falling into place. Welcome in, welcome in. If you're in here, please smash that screen. And I added this little thing to the side of the screen. We are doing 50% off of dual shadow work this entire month. We have gotten a lot of questions about it. A lot of people have been saying they want to try it out, but they don't know if they want to commit. So we just did 50%. So it makes everything easier. We all know we live lives and we budget. So if you want to dip your toe in, this is the month to do it. You got a whole coupon code. It's Dueling My Shadow 50. And you'll get to sit down with me and Miss Keys of Wisdom 369. And we'll be doing all the things. Welcome in, Mary P. What's going on? What is going on? We're just getting started. We are just getting started. We're just logging on. See if we can't get a few more people in here before we toss collective and see what we have going on. Shadow work is one of the services we offer in the private space, and it's pretty much helps people readopt their shadow back into the whole. The shadow is the things that we've kind of hid away. You know what I mean? And things maybe we might find undesirable about ourselves or our experience. And it's bringing it back into the light because that's where you realize where your power is. It also helps clear up your energetic pathways. So if you're somebody who's looking to kind of blow open their abilities and that kind of thing, that's one of the most natural way to do it is to get rid of what's blocking the pathways. And then usually a lot of things flow easier for people. So it kind of is like unpacking your burdens, you know? Howdy, not much. Dude, we've been good. We just keep opening spaces. We just keep chugging along, you know? We're just getting everything ready for good season. It's 50% off right now, so it's only $50. And we meet for an hour and a half in the dual space, which is for sale right now. We have them in private spaces to where it's like you can book with either me or Miss Keys of Wisdom. And then a lot of people were asking for the option to do a dual space because they couldn't decide who they wanted to work with and this and that. And they felt like they were missing out. So we offered a dual space. But because there's two of us, we need more time. So it's an hour and a half. So right now, if you use this, your first one's $50 for an hour and a half of shadow work with me and Miss Keys of Wisdom. And it's virtual like this would be, but it's private. So we do a video session so you can see us and we can see you, you know. So we're just trying to make it to where we're giving you guys what you're asking for, but then, you know what I mean? It allows you to try it out. There's no commitment to anything like that. Just, you know, you don't have to sign up for like 7 at a time or something like that. No, you know, you just have to do one session at a time. So if you've been thinking about it, like I know a lot of the people that we work with have been thinking about it, especially when they get reads in the private space about, oh, I don't know, I think, or something comes up and they're like, maybe I need some help, you know. So we're just doing it that way for the whole month. Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah, I'm just excited that we're able to do it. I wasn't quite sure if we would be able to, like with the system that we have for the website, but yeah, no, we were totally able to do it. And anybody can use the code. It's duelingmyshadow50. So, welcome in, guys. Welcome in, welcome in. If you're in here, please tap that screen. Please share the live. I can't tap my own screen. My face. We're doing reads today. The list is open. Subscribers are 1555 and non-subscribers are 1888. So if you would like something felt into, if you would like something pulled on, we can definitely do that today. See if we can't get a few more people in here before we toss a collective. Welcome in, welcome in. How's everybody doing? Thank you for the follow, Starlight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is much appreciated. It is much appreciated. Yeah, we opened up other dual spaces too. Like a lot of people were asking for a dual read space, but in private. So we opened up a 1 hour dual read space to where you can sit down and we'll do cards and we'll talk to our teams, your teams, you know what I mean, and that kind of thing. And we'll do a read like this, but it'll be me and Keys for 1 full hour, and that's also virtual. So we opened that space up the end of last month, I think, the beginning of this month. And then we also have a dual mentorship space. It's the same thing as our normal mentorship space, but you just get both of us at once instead of having to pick. Because a lot of people were just getting lost in the who do I choose, I don't know. So we just decided to take it off the table. Like, you don't have to choose if you can't choose, you know what I mean? And we just extended the time limit for each space. So like the mentorship is an hour and a half, the shadow work is an hour and a half instead of an hour, like the reads are an hour instead of 30 minutes. So we just tried to allow for more time because we're all going to be chit-chatting, we're all going to be talking, feeling into things. And we all know, if you've ever gotten anything on the backside, it's a minimum. Because if our teams don't stop, we don't stop neither. You know? Welcome in, welcome in. Alright. If you could just please tap that screen. I think we're just going to pop off with collective and we'll just see. We'll just see. Welcome in, welcome in. If you are in here, please share the live. It does help us. It does help us out here. Welcome in, welcome in. And if you're not a member of our website, you should totally join. It's 100% free. It'll never cost you money, but you can earn points. So if you are a subscriber to either my page that we're live on right now or Keys of Wisdom 369, you're allowed to earn 5 points per month. You're an active subscriber, and we just store it in the bank. And the more points you get, it's money off of services. So, alright. My masculines, it is time to take your seat, and that's all I keep hearing with this toss right here. It's just time to take your seat. You have defended who you are and what you are for far too long. Now it's time to own it. And they're just talking about how you've had to stand strong in the face of, they're going to say the word adversity, but I feel like it's stronger than adversity. I feel like it's in the face of people who wanted to toss you to the side, who didn't believe your value, didn't see your worth. There's a part of this masculine collective that clarity is just beaming through right now, and you are being rewarded. This is your receivership era, because instead of owning what other people were placing on you and their projections, you decided to stand up in what you know you're worth. Betty friend. And they're just talking about how right now you are owning it. This is part of your physical abundance. and you've had to kind of maneuver your way out of a lot of, they're calling it sketchy situations. And I feel like this is throughout this entire lifetime, you've had to pull yourself out of sketchy situations and sketchy places over and over and over again. And if you are one of these people that just feels like you have been beaten down by life thus far, this is your rise up era. This is your rise up era. You are no longer being left behind. Ooh, I missed a card. You are no longer being left behind. You are no longer coming in second. I want to say second fiddle. This is complete victory for you because you're owning who you are. Your authenticity is leading the way right now. I want to tell the masculine collective that this would be pulling on to really ground yourself, to root yourself in your essence. It's extremely important because you are just about to be met with the rockiest of waters, because this clarity is going to open up avenues, and they're almost using the word canals, open up avenues and canals that you have not yet ventured down. You've disguised yourself for far too long, and your balance is here. That's all I keep hearing. You've disguised yourself for far too long, playing small and accepting less than you are worth. Out of the shadows into the light is what I keep hearing over and over and over again. As we have the power card that just comes out here, talking about you owning your shit. You have to trust yourself more than ever right now because nobody's going to do it for you. There's really a large part of this that is begging you to trust yourself and your intuition. Move when you are called to move. Do the things that you are called to do. There's a large part of this masculine collective that is just coming right up out the mud unapologetically right now, and you are ruffling feathers. You are ruffling feathers. This is part of that, like, need to be I'm almost like getting like that close to the chest, like that need to kind of keep your plans close to your chest and to play things. I almost want to say safe until you can't. That's the way I want to say it. Safe until you can't, because you may not be among friends. That's the way that I want to say it. Literally healing waters moving, and it was out as a bridge moving through healing waters. It's that calm after the storm of transition, but you're not quite after the storm yet. Ain't gonna be no, never mind. There's just a large part of your hermit mode and your, I call it like your revival, a large part of your hermit mode or your revival that you had to do by yourself. Nobody taught you how to do what you were doing. You had to physically pull yourself out and do it for you. Because nobody was clapping for you. That's so funny. Nobody was clapping for you, but everyone was right there to tell you that you were doing it wrong. But they weren't there to help you do it either. I almost want to say, like, rules for you, not for me. Kind of weird, like, the like, pot calling the kettle black kind of thing. And this just might be the environment that you were surrounded in that forced your movement. I really do feel like you're starting to meld the bridge here, as we literally have the Metamorphosis and the Journey card, as we're talking about your journey through hilly waters. I really do feel like you're starting to meld the two together. Your subconscious and your conscious brain is coming online together, but I want to use the word in unison. In unison, so you're now just acting as one being, and it's part of your alignment. It's part of your transition to inner balance. And this is something that's new for you because you've had the idea of being balanced, but you haven't felt being balanced yet. So this is part of what you're really bringing to the table as a collective. Does anyone just feel like sometimes things happen with the perfect of timing, and it couldn't have happened any other time but right now? Because there's just this essence to this masculine energy that's just like, they're aware, he's aware that it couldn't just happen anytime. He had to go through these things in order to have the confidence, the strength, the know-how to get through it. It's like this was like the only chance that he could have done it, if that makes any sense to anybody. If you need further confirmations for healing and growth, good Lord, we're getting the same cards out in like every deck in a different way. Sometimes when we free ourselves, people aren't happy because we have to release the burdens that they placed on us that aren't actually ours. And a large part of this masculine community is doing that. And that can be relationships, that can be jobs, but a lot of it's self. It's the worth of self that we have accumulated or held on to that isn't who we truly are, but it's how other people perceive us. And they're just talking about how part of your emotional healing is happening right now. Part of your emotional balance is happening right now, whether you realize it or not. Whether you realize it or not. Gonna be what it ain't gonna be. Your strength comes in your persistence. That's the way I want to say it. Your strength comes in your persistence. Your strength happens when you get knocked down and you stand up, when you stumble and you get up, when you fall and you rise again. This is part of your strength. This is part of your, I almost want to use the word valor. This is part of your standing up for self, but this is your persistence. This is your like, nah, I'm not giving up. That's not happening. Like, good try again. And this is what's kind of putting together this physical fulfillment, because if you're not giving up on yourself, then spirit isn't giving up on you. If you're not giving up on yourself, then source isn't giving up to you. And it's just one of these things that you had to do it the hard way, and you physically had to do it the hard way, because I feel like you're stubborn. I feel like you're a stubborn person who sometimes needs to be knocked around before they really see what's going on. And you spent a large part of your life like this, trial after trial, lesson after lesson, learning it the hard way, but it's just because you are so, I want to say the word spacey, but not in like an airhead kind of way. You are so deeply connected to the things that are not physical that sometimes for you to learn the lesson and truly learn it in the physical, you had to be met with it in the physical. You couldn't just meet it etherically. You couldn't just meet it energetically. You had to live it to truly embody it, to truly pull it back in. And it's so interesting. And they're just talking about how you're somebody who had to do things on repeat. And sometimes that irked the shit out of you. That you couldn't see it, or you couldn't get past it, and it would replay, and it used to burden you, but now you're realizing that this is something that was for your greatest, highest good, because that's how you learn. That sounds awful, but that's because how you learn, masculines. Don't fight the clarity that they bring to you this next week. Don't fight it. It's gonna suck. I don't know why they're warning me, but they're talking about it's gonna suck. There's gonna be a lot of things, King of Wands. There's gonna be a lot of things that are gonna start boiling to the surface that need to be dealt with. Yourself, your decisions, your choices, the people you surround yourself with. There's a lot of clarity coming, and they're just reminding you that you asked for it. You asked for clarity, you asked to rise, you asked for healing, you asked for help, guidance, and assistance, and they're bringing it to you. So they're just saying, be careful of what you turn away or what you deny when you're receiving the gift you asked for. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in, guys. Hi on my backup iPad. What's up, Dawn? How's everybody doing today? I hope everyone's doing good. So for those of you who don't know, we are doing 50% off of dual shadow work healing spaces right now. A lot of people asked, they didn't ask for that, but a lot of people were saying how they didn't know if they wanted to do the shadow work space. They were kind of a little nervous, a little bit scared to invest in themselves or do it, and they couldn't choose if they wanted to do it with me or Miss Keys of Wisdom 369. So we just eliminated that problem. So 50% off your first session. You can decide after that first session if it's something for you or if it's not. You'll sit down with both me and Miss Keys of Wisdom 369 for an hour and a half, and you get a full shadow work dual session. So that's running now through the end of May. I think it's May 31st. And the coupon code is DuelingMyShadow50. So if that's something you are interested in or want to look into, right there you can find it on the website or in my link tree. Just make sure when you go to checkout, you just use that code DuelingMyShadow50, and it'll plug you up for 50% off. Ash, will the new job work out? I don't know. We can pull on it, Miss Ashley, if you would like me to. Reads are paid today. My subscribers, it's $15.55. My non-subscribers, it's $18.88. Welcome in, Crow. What is up? What is up? Willow, am I going to date Aaron by the end of the summer? I can do a love relationship for you, but I can't tell you what Aaron is going to do with his free will. But I can tell you what your guides and spirit want you to know about your love relationship, or something like that if you would like. How are you doing today? Dude, we are both doing good. Thank you for the follow. Thank you, thank you. Amanda, does Kevin have real feelings for me? I won't be able to answer that. I won't be able to answer that only because I can't pull on energy that I don't have permission to be in. I can tell you what you need to know about the relationship, or do like a love reading for you, but I can't tell you what someone else is thinking or feeling because I'm not allowed to pull on energy that I don't have permission to work in. Welcome in, welcome in. Divine timing, gotta love her. Emily, will I get married this year? I don't know, I won't be able to answer that for you. That's so personal of a question, and that's like such a loaded question. Like, well, that was just odd. Well, that was just odd. I'm sorry for whatever happened. Talk did like a weird update or something and like kicked us out. Yeah, that was weird. Well, I'm back, so I hope you guys are still back. Let's see if I can like go back here. Hi, on my backup iPad. Little Ducky, what is up? So great here, glowing up. Dude, that's great. That's great. That's great. I'm glad that you still made it despite your electronic malfunctions. Maria, will I see David tonight? I don't know. I don't want to answer that. What up, Miss Kalilia? Just waking up over here. Dang. Oh wait, but you're on a different time. You're on a different time zone, aren't you? Yeah, you're a different time zone. Okay, that makes sense. I'm like, just waking up. Dang. But no, but that makes sense. I'm like, it's like almost 1 o'clock over here. No worries. No worries. I know a lot of people do it on this app, but I just am not allowed to play there. Froze up. Yeah, dude, I don't know. Talk did some weird update and went, shoot. Sarah, does Tommy need time for me? What? Does Tommy need time from me right now? I don't know. I won't be able to tell you what Tommy needs, Sarah, because you're Sarah. I can only pull on energy that I have permission, so without Tommy's permission, I can't pull on his energy. It's just not ethically okay. Left coast? East coast? Right coast? But yeah. So if you guys have collective questions, feel free to drop them down in the comment section below, and we'll kind of bust through them as we can around reads. Everything is paid today and the list is open. We are doing $15.55 for my subscribers, and then we're doing $18.88 for my non-subscribers. No, I'm sorry, Miss Haitian Goddess 38. I have not seen any question from you. If it's a collective question, go ahead and drop it down. If it's something that I have to feel into, though, it's a paid space. So, but you're always welcome to ask it, and I can always tell you either way. Like, no worries. Let me see, I got them bricks. Welcome in, welcome in. How's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing today? I'm gonna tink bells. Raina is Wayne loyal to me? I don't know. I can't pull on Wayne's energy. I can tell you what you need to know according to spirit about the situation, and something like that, but I can't tell you what he's going to do with his free will or his time or anything like that. I just don't have energetic permission to do that. I'm gonna tink bells because I feel like the energy just feels weird. So I'm going to tink some bells. So loud noise warning, right? High-pitched noise. So if you're listening to earbuds, now's your time to either turn your volume down. Welcome in, J. May Zua. Now it's either time to turn your thing down or, fair warning. Welcome in. Jackie, is Bernard thinking about coming back to me? I don't know. I won't be able to answer that. I'm sorry. Haitian Goddess, I still ain't seen your question. I'm sorry. It's just not popping up. Maybe try using different words. Yes, tink them bells, girl. Tink them bells. Yeah, I don't know. It just feel like the energy got weird, so I just need to tink some bells, you know what I mean? Tink some bells. You are I don't know who needs to hear this right now, but you are as abundant as you perceive yourself to be. That's some real truth. If you are as abundant as you perceive yourself to be, because abundance is more than money, abundance is more than physical material objects, abundance is energy, abundance is flow, abundance can come in any and many shapes and forms. So just keep in mind the way that you view the world has direct impact on how and when and if you even notice your abundance. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but you're judging yourself too harshly and you're making the world appear tougher on you than it is actually, is the way they're saying it, than it is actually. And if you can put your own inner judgments aside for a second and take a seat of the observer, a third-party lens, the outside looking in, if you can try to do that, they're talking about how you'll realize just how much abundance is around you right now and how much you've been missing. Welcome in, welcome in. What did I miss? Will will Bernard reconcile? I can't help you with that. Bon, thank you for the follow. Thank you. Can you see it now? Nope. Try posting 2 words at a time or something like that. I don't know. We can't see the question at all. And it's not coming up as blocked, so either you're using a word that Tok doesn't like. I'm not saying it has to be a bad word or something like that, but just try rewording it. Sometimes you gotta laugh, I swear. Yeah, no, I can't see it either, Keys. You're good. They just must have stopped it. Laughter is the most underrated medicine. 1,000%. You could heal the world through laughter, I swear. 1,000%. Thank you for the tiny diny. Thank you. If you guys have collective questions, go ahead and drop them down. And keep in mind, guys, if you have not sent in your questions for podcasts, go ahead and send them in. Go ahead and send them in to the email, ChildOfBalance369@gmail.com. No spaces, no underscores. It's in the link tree in the bio. And we'll kind of start putting stuff together because we're gonna start recording podcasts pretty soon. So Confetti 32. Will my ex reach out? I can't help you with that. I'm sorry. I can't tell you what somebody else is going to do with their free will, or something like that. I can do a love relationship read for you, and I can tell you what you need to know about the relationship or what you need to be focusing on right now, but I can't tell you what they're going to do with their free will, their choice, or anything like that. I just don't have permission to be in their energy. You know what I mean? So... Woo. But the list is open. We got Cash App, we got Venmo. Reads for non-subscribers are $18.88, and for my subscribers it's $15.55. Oh hell. I got that in my pinky thumb. My pinky thumb? No. Ring finger. Pinky and ring finger. What's a pinky thumb? Well, I guess we're just learning new things every day. Pinky, yeah, I don't know. I like, and it came out my mouth so fluid. Like, I was like, pinky thumb. Apparently this is pinky thumb. I don't know. Who the hell knows? Who the hell knows? But if you guys have collective questions that don't require me to feel into you, but maybe you have a question or a topic or something like that, or something you want to share, like wins or something like that, go ahead and drop them down and we'll chit-chat about them. You know what I mean? Don't mind talking while we wait. Don't mind talking while we wait. I'll tell you later what pinky thumb to me straight to. Oh God. Now I'm just worried. Now I'm just worried. I hope everyone's having a good Saturday though. I feel like it's kind of one of them in-between Saturdays, you know? I don't know, like... Excuse me, you have to go through the tough times to find the good times on the backside. I feel like somebody in here really needs to hear that. Healing isn't all fun, and healing isn't all smiles and rainbows, and it's not definitely in all love and light. You have to sometimes travel through the hard parts, and sometimes those hard parts that are hard to talk about, hard to bring back up, hard to remember. You don't want to have that in your memory. That's exactly what leads to the freedom. If you turn around and you don't face those things, you don't come to terms with those things, you don't readopt those things back into the whole, and you change your direction, and you pivot, you swerve, all you're doing is keeping yourself confined because you just cut off an avenue for you to travel. So if you feel like you are stuck and you have limited space, like the walls are closing in on you metaphorically, and you feel like you are constricted or confined, it's because there's a lot of avenues and areas in your life energetically that you have cut off from yourself and told yourself that you can't travel down that way because it's too scary to get past that door. You can't head that direction because there's something that you're not willing to face, and part of what this healing journey is requiring of you is to go through the hurt, through the pain, transmute it, alchemize it, and make it work for you. Readopt it back into self and realize that it doesn't limit you in any shape or form, but it adds another layer to who you are. And there's a part of this that the collective is being ushered through right now as fight songs on. What did I miss? What did I miss? The time and days have been so weird off this week for me, like time warping. Yeah, the energy shifts have been interesting. I don't know if anybody else has noticed it, but we'll start the day in one energy and then all of a sudden it like swoop and it shifts real hard. And then sometimes later in the night it'll shift again. We're definitely in a very transformative space where everything is changing, morphing, and moving very quickly. So I don't feel like we really energetically stay at one place for too long. And I feel like that's what's tossing a lot of the collective for a loop right now, is because it appears as though there may be a lack of stability. It appears as though there may be a lack of peace because things are moving so quickly. But if we look past that, we can see that that's not actually the case. But you definitely have to be grounded. Otherwise, you will get kind of rocked by some of these stark shifts, you know. For sure. Exactly. I keep thinking it's different days or times of the day. Yeah, things are definitely picking up and slowing down. Like, you're not off the mark there, you know what I mean? Dude, the energy and the smiles right now. I'll tell you what, it shifts. You know what I mean? But a lot of people in the collective right now are really, they're being forced to relook at self. And we talk about this a lot, but it's the truth right now. Communication, especially as we just were in Mercury not too long ago, you know, it was all about communication, and everyone wants to think about relationships and exes coming back and this and that. But it's like, in reality, it's also how we talk to ourselves. It's also how we love ourselves. It's also reevaluating the things that we do on the inside. What communication is working, what boundaries we have in place. And then as we start moving into Pluto, and we start having to decide what we align with. So now that we're in Pluto retrograde, we have to kind of double down in the energy, the person, the being that we're choosing to be right now on the inside. Like, who are we honoring? Like, are we honoring ourselves? Is this authentic? Like, is this something that we want to do, be, or what are we striving for, our goals? Like, where are we placing our energy and our purpose at the moment? And once you decide, and it won't be like I decide to do this. No, it'll be through your action and through what energy you hold and the frequency that you currently sit in during this Pluto retrograde that determines it for you. So keep in mind right now, merging the subconscious with the conscious is important so that you align with the energy you want to be in. And everything that is not in alignment with that energy will be removed. Will be removed. Pluto goes retrograde. What is it? Once every year, Keys? Remind me. I'm not the best in astrology. Pluto goes retrograde once every year, I believe. And it's that time where you kind of make a home. You make a home in your current energy, and everything that is not in alignment or matching energy with you gets removed. You know? Test sirens went off in my city. What did I miss? Hold on. Behavior specifically. What was your behavior and behavior around you needs assessed? Yep. Time to take action. Exactly. Welcome in, blessed. Pluto be like, it's that time of year again, and we ripping away all that doesn't align in a blink. But that's it. In a blink of an eye. Test sirens went off in my city yesterday. What's today? Oh, that's interesting. We do them on Mondays over here. Bona, is it over between me and Daniel? So I won't be able to tell you what Daniel will decide, Bona, but I can do a love relationship reading for you if you would like one, working in your energy. What do you need to know? What do your guides or spirits want you to know about that relationship for your greatest, highest good kind of thing? All reads are paid today. We're doing $15.55 for my subscribers and $18.88 for my non-subscribers. Oh, okay. I missed that one. Pluto goes retrograde every year, dipping between Aquarius and Capricorn for the next 5 months. Yeah. 5s are all about change and forward movement. Yeah. Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%. And when it comes to the, like, and I know everyone in the spiritual community likes to talk about the feminine rise and the feminines moving up and this and that, and that's fantastic. But do not forget, everything's in balance. Like, and we have a whole nother half to the collective, and the other half energetically to the collective is the masculine. And the masculine are doing some crazy big things right now. Like, they are standing up in their energy. A lot of people are pressing out of abusive, narcissistic, depressive states of self, of being, of worth, of relationships on the inside and the outside. And a lot of people are coming to some hard truths about themselves and how they've been standing in their own way in one way, shape, or form. And this clarity isn't just self-truths, but it's also the interconnectedness of things. It's how you connect with the rest of the world. It's your place, your quote-unquote seat at the table. It's one of those things that things just get spun up and brought together. So the masculine, like, from this side of the fence, like, we are clapping for that part of the collective, because you have to ascend too. And there's a large subsection of the collective that the masculines are doing their rise right now. Now, obviously, we all have, separate individualized journeys, but there's a large subsection, like, hear me correctly, a large subsection of the collective that the masculines are being shaken back to the surface, and all of their stuff is coming out into the open. So I always like to remind the feminines, like, don't shit on the masculines too hard. You know what I mean? Because if we believe we can manifest anything, right? Like, then why are we manifesting more troubles for the masculine collective, right? He's never going to do this. The masculines are slow. The masculines never get together. They're unaware. Like, stop. Because you have masculine energy inside of you, so when you start projecting that kind of a energy on the masculine collective, you're also projecting it on half of you too. So keep that in mind. 107.8 on the clock for balance, as we're talking about masculine and feminine energies. Yes, my friend asked about the fives the other day. Go masculine, go masculine, go masculine. Facing those deep-seated abandonment wounds on both sides of the collective. There's a huge mother wound that is being faced by the collective right now, especially the masculines, where they're realizing how they've allowed the feminine to treat them and what situations they put themselves in over their lifetime due to childhood inner child wounds, 1,000%. And instead of running from it, the large subsection who is rising is facing it. Is completely facing it right now. Don't judge anyone. We're all started somewhere, holding space, acknowledge the hard work. 1,000% though. There's no room for judgment. If you want to judge somebody, judge yourself. You cannot agree with somebody. You can no room for judgment. If you want to judge somebody, judge yourself. You cannot agree with somebody. You can. I'ma just take it as somebody just doesn't want me live today. Like, that's how I'm just gonna keep taking this, cause like we just got booted out again. Facing deep-seated abandonment wounds. Yep, don't judge anybody. Yeah, we all need to wish well and growth for no matter what. Well, it's like that, but it's also like if you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say anything at all. Like, I feel like people don't realize how important words are. And especially when we shoot that energy outside of our body, when we speak it, so that our conscious awareness hears it. We are casting, words are spells, you're casting spells, right? Like, because every cell in our body hears what we say. So it's one of those things that once we start flapping our mouth and start talking all this bullshit, like, you're not only projecting it on the world, you're releasing that energy into the collective, but then it's like your brain is also hearing you do this. You know what I mean? Yeah, we need to wish well. So sometimes it's not about like the love and light of like, I wish you growth. Sometimes it's just being like, I'm gonna focus on me. Like, and I'm not gonna be worried about what someone else is doing in that other camp. You know what I mean? Like, fantastic song. I know. I don't know what it is. I swear, it's like I'm not supposed to be here. It's like I'm not supposed to be here. I don't know. Weird. It is definitely odd. But if you guys have collective questions, like, feel free to drop them down. You know what I mean? I don't mind answering them. The list is open. We are doing reads today. My subscribers is 1555, and my non-subscribers is 1818. And for those of you who are just joining the room, we released a 15. No, that ain't it. Ain't nobody getting out of bed for that. We released a 50% off coupon to the website. It's 50% off dual shadow work healing spaces and duels with myself and Miss Keys of Wisdom right here, 369, where you sit down, you talk to us for an hour and a half, and we start breaking down shadow work with you. That best works for you and your healing, what you need based on what your team says, and some of the whatever experiences you choose to share at that time. We did that because a lot of people were asking for dual spaces, so we launched it. And I know a lot of people are sometimes nervous about entering into a shadow work space because shadow work is so personal and because it is a topic and they don't know if they want to do it or if they don't. So we gave like a little 50% off introduction on your first course. So it's a full session. You don't lose any, time with us, but because our sessions are non-committal, you don't have to purchase more than one session at a time. So it allows you to decide if this is something you want to venture into or not. And then because it's a dual space, should you want to then go from dual to a single space, you know how we talk, you know how we work, you know who you might jive with and who you may not. You know what I mean? So should you want to go down to just a one-person space, we already know what we talked about kind of deal. So we thought that was the best way possible. So if you are interested in that code, it is Dueling My Shadow 50. So when you book, it'll ask you for the coupon, and that's the coupon. It is Dueling My Shadow 50. So just keep that in mind. Do you ever think we never stop doing shadow work, or is there a time when it's over? I'm a true believer in that healers heal themselves foremost. But I do think that we never stop healing. I do think a large part of shadow work is unpacking the baggage from the past and from a lifetime lived before you bridge into shadow work. So for me in my mental space, I consider shadow work just that initial part where you unpack everything, and then the rest of it I just think of it more as maintenance, if that makes sense. So if something comes up, then you have all the tools. You have all the tools to deal with it when it comes up, so you don't bottle it up. So you don't make it into being a part of your shadow. You can just deal with it right when it happens. So I guess technically I think we're always growing, healing. Every choice, option, decision has the potential, interaction has the potential to give us something that we may need to heal with, look at, at a different perspective, different lens. But shadow work I consider more like unpacking the baggage that we hold through the lifetime we've lived before we reach the point where we're like, I should do shadow work. Because at that point, once your shadow's readopted back into self, your conscious and your subconscious are talking. A lot of times you do shadow work things on the fly. So you'll be talking to somebody and you're like, I know this is this, but, I know this is this, and I know what I'm supposed to be doing, and I know that I overreacted because this triggered this. You automatically start doing it to yourself. So in one way, I think it never ends, but as far as a sit-down traditional session, kind of a get my journal out, do a meditation or a tool or a skill, I think it's a lot less formal, if that makes sense, Because really, what we're doing is we work through things with people, but we give them the tools. So should something come up that looks similar or, something new after we've ended shadow work stuff, you guys, in theory, should have all the tools to help yourself. But then we all know that, sometimes every once in a while you need to reach out, you need help, you need a different set of eyes on something or whatever. So that's why we open the spiritual guidance and assistance. So if you ever just have one issue, one area that anybody needs help on, and you're bringing the topic to us, I need help on this, I need this dream interpreted, I need, this, I have this problem with spirits, or dead people can't leave me alone, or I can't ground, or, whatever it is, breath work, meditation, I can't connect to my guides, or whatever it is, you know, I was doing my own shadow work thing, and then all of a sudden, like, you know, this came up, and now I don't know what to do with it. Like, we just created that one-off session, which is spiritual guidance and assistance. It's for anybody who's just, like, living their life and they get stuck. You know what I mean? Okay, got it. Yeah, my shadow work for a while, getting past my mistakes and things I didn't pass. Yeah, and honestly, like, I'm a believer, like, we make it as big as it needs to be. So, I know some people who can get past some serious stuff in, like, a week. Because they're already of the mindset that it's done and over with. I need to learn from it. And I know some people who will be on the same topic for 4 weeks because that is how large a part of their story they have made it. So we do shadow work very individualistically, to the point where we go based off of what your team says, your guides say, how you react, how your brain works, how your body works, how your energy works, and we go from there, because we truly believe the concepts, the constructs, the whatever, the tools have to work for you. So we spend a lot of time individualizing the methods that we use, the practices, the tools, the homeworks, and stuff like that. So that way you can get the most out of it. Like, we're not doing it for us. We've already done it for ourselves. Like, that's why we teach it, because we've already done it for us, you know? Yeah, and that's the thing, though, like, we're kind of taught, you know, either in not so many words or whatever, that we have to kind of push something aside, or it's not accepted, or this, that, and the other. And a large part of the time, that's just not the case. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of people, the number one thing is like, oh, what's my destiny? You know, what's my divine path? Like, can you tell me what this is? And it's like, but no, it's like, it's not for me to tell. It's for you to find, and you find your destiny, you find your path, you find what you're meant to do by finding who you are. And you need all pieces and parts of yourself in order to realize that. So I'm a big proponent of helping people find themselves in order to find where they fit. You know what I mean? Because anytime we start talking, like, anytime I start feeling into someone's destiny or their plan or whatever, like, you got to keep in mind, like, I'm only feeling in the now moment. So, like, as you sit right now, if nothing changes, if if you go the same projection, like, you know, like, what are you amounting to? What are your bread and butters? What are your this? Like, but as you evolve, other parts of your path also evolve with you. So it's one of those things, like, sometimes it's just best to find yourself first, and then you can find where you fit, you know? So I get the number one, like, question is like, what should I be doing? Like, what's meant for me? What's this? And it's just like, when you're doing what's meant for you, you don't ask that question. And it's a weird place to be because people don't teach it that way. But when you find yourself, you will quickly find what you're meant to do, who you're meant to be, and you'll do it unapologetically. But that's a part of peace and knowing and self that you have to get to first, and it's not easy to get there, and it takes time to get there. You know what I mean? But the people who haven't done the self-work and want to know what their grand design path is, or all this other stuff, they're kind of skipping steps. So then in the end, the only person they're hurting is themselves, because if they take the unhealed version of them and they go do something that the healed version of them is the only thing that can accomplish, you know what I mean? Like, they will be sadly disappointed, and they'll be ruining their own dreams. And that's why I kind of don't like that idea. Quite the journey. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely can be. It definitely can be. I just feel like a lot of people's journeys travel through their greatest fears. They travel through their hesitations. They travel through that thing that absolutely scares the shit out of them. But that's what makes it worth it. So, as much as you may try to separate your healing and your spiritual journeys, a lot of people who end up coming to see us, they will happen in some sort of a tandem. Because that's just how things evolve. Like, you know. So even if we're not working on your abilities will start to come online. More often than not, if you are somebody who is seeking us out, chances are you have natural abilities that'll begin to come online when we start doing the inner work, when we start melding together yourself, your shadow, your conscious, your subconscious, your masculine and feminine energies. We start working on your chakras and your sense of presence in the moment and your peace. A lot of that stuff will start coming online naturally with no extra help. The road less traveled has been coming up a lot the past month. Yeah, I did a message on it a little bit ago. I was standing outside, and it just hit me in the side of the face. They brought back that Robert Frost, I think it is, poem, The Road Less Traveled. Yeah. That's why I added the Road Less Traveled song on here. You will start to realize that your ability revealed themselves long ago and you just didn't give it a label. But see, that's 1,000%. I believe that all the time, and I convince a lot of people of that accidentally, because a lot of what you do as a human, right, as a human being, you don't realize is so tied into your energy, and your energy is your ability. So a lot of people don't realize, those gut feelings, those, this and that, and when you can visualize what somebody's talking about when they're saying it so much so that you can almost add details to it, like that's your seer sight ability. Like there's a lot of things like knowing who's going to call before the phone calls. Sometimes you get these weird pings or someone's talking to you and you're like, are you okay? That's your ability, but people just downplay the small stuff. And it's in honoring the small stuff and honoring you, your presence, your energy, your soul as a being, as an energy, as a person, as a whatever, is what ushers in the quote-unquote big stuff. You know what I mean? I want to Fifi Sofa, want to come look for me. No, I'm okay. Thank you so much, though. We're doing this right now, but I appreciate you. Yeah, I watched it, I think, to so many other places the poem came up, and it's been so wild. Yeah, like, I don't know why, but they were harping on it, and they've been harping on the interconnectedness of things in my space specifically, like how things are all in, like, this giant cosmic web, and how everything is linked together, tied together, and pulled, and every web is glowing, and they're just... They brought back like this weird sound of like some guy being like it was like really weird. I could like hear it in my head. It was like some guy being like, why is the world shit? It was like this like really negative outlook, like why is the world shit? And my guys were pretty much just like, well, it's like because nobody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. So the ripple through the cord is inauthentic. The ripple through the cord is not what is destined to be. So because we're all masking up and not being who we are meant to be, everything gets muddled. And then he's talking about muddying of waters and this, that, and the other. So if you want to change the world, you got to change yourself. And that sounds so crazy, but it's really just the change is just losing everything that's inauthentic to you. The change is taking the masks off and digging past everything that isn't you, and that's kind of how we teach it, because that's always how my guides have always shown it to me, is it's not becoming who you want to be or who you think you are. It's just getting rid of everything you're not, and your authenticity is at the center. It's at the core. It's the center of the universe. It's your heart chakra. It's your being. It's your soul. It's your energy. So the more times we go, oh no, I'm fine. Oh no, I'm fine. This is this. This is me. This is me. This is me. And we just start piling things on top of the pebble that's actually you. the shadow work and the unmasking and the ego deaths and the this and the dark nights of the soul and the are all just releasing, pulling the masks off, or all just releasing all these things, and then what's left is your authenticity. What's left is your purity. What's left is you. And then that's where you function off of. So that when you're placed in your place, your divine path, your interconnection to everything, you are glowing and radiating as you should be. As you should be is you. Because you were not made wrong, you were not built wrong, you were not created incorrectly. You are not broken. You are whole in your being, and that's where it interacts with everything around you. And there's a part of the, I call it like the hive mind. There's a part of the oneness, the hive mind, that you lead by example. So it's always scary to do, but more people gain courage when they see other people doing it, right? So your light is what helps draw in and sync other nearby lights in your web, is the way this is just how they show it to me, is it helps to draw in other lights in the web, and then other lights feel like they can start shining through all the masks, and you'll see little things poking through, and then that gives people the courage to start dismantling some of their inauthenticity, and dropping their masks. And it's one of those things that you're giving a decision. It's not a forced thing, which is always so interesting, but they're just kind of always talking about how, and then when you vibrate in your authenticity, it shakes the web, and it shakes the web like all the way out. So we're all connected. We all have a purpose and a place, and the way to find that in the most natural way is to find yourself first. Because your authenticity, your light, is what shakes everything up. It's what triggers everybody. It's what healers heal themselves, and then they trigger everybody else into healing. It's not because we hate you. It's not because we do it on purpose. It's just because that's what the energy demands. So what? Welcome in, Thomasina. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Yeah, that kind of philosophy, I guess. Oh my gosh, Keys, I was going through a memory box and I had to pin that quote on it. It's unlearning and unbecoming everything you thought you had to be based on the outside influences. Yeah, I love that quote that's like, who were you before the world told you who to be? Because sometimes that's one of the most important things that we do, is we ask ourselves that question. Before somebody gave you a label, gave you a name, told you your projected outcome, who were you? What were your dreams? What were your fears? What were your this? I just think a lot of people don't think about sometimes how the things that we do in the spiritual community is hypocritical, right? We can't tell someone to heal from all the labels that the world gave them, and then in the same token be like, but I'll tell you who you are. How does that make sense? How does that make sense? Oh, like your mom, your uncle, and like that teacher in 3rd grade was wrong. They told you who you were, and then you adopted a mask. But come to me and I'll tell you who you are. That don't make no sense. And if it doesn't make sense, we don't teach it. So just be mindful of the pitfalls in the spiritual community where people in their ego think that they can tell you who they are. Like who you are as a person. Like that's just not the case. I can help you, for you to find yourself, for you to guide your light. I can help you with your abilities, talking to your teams, but at the end of the day, it's still up to you. It's still completely up to you. You have the choice to adopt or disown anything that me or anybody else on here or in the world says. And we encourage the students, the clients, the whatever that we deal with in private, on lives, to always run things through what we call your bullshit filter. It is your energy filter of, does this resonate for me or does it not? But we ask you to truly feel into it and to put ego aside. And ego isn't always bad. It's just your personality. It's your thinking brain. It's your humanness. It's your this, Just put that aside for a second and feel into what's being said. Feel into, the things that people are saying or doing. And that's where things become a game changer. That's why you're the best. You're so honest. People are saying or doing. And that's where things become a game changer. That's why you're the best. You're so honest. Well, we're back. $1:31 on the clock. We got kicked out again. I don't know. But that's just I got tired of being dicked around. Like, you know what I mean? I'm a soul in a vessel too. I got tired of being dicked around. And that's me and Keys both. And we did a pretty hard breakaway from the spiritual community as a whole. I don't know what, like a year and a half ago. And we just decided to make something that we thought that the spiritual community could use. A no bullshit space where we're not selling you hopes and dreams. We're just selling you what you need to know about you, yourself, your abilities, your journey, verbatim saying what your guides want you to know, and and just that type of a healing journey, because that's what we realized was the only thing that truly helped us. Now, is it fun to get cool, reads and this and that about your metaphysical creatures and your guides and your this, and it of course it is. But that's like humoring our humanness. In the grand scheme of things, the really fun, whimsically reads, is Scott coming back to me? Or, what does my dragons have to say? Well, I don't want to use that one because that's beneficial. But just the ones that are kind of they don't actually help you. The ones that are projecting into the future, what's my destiny? What's my this? In 3 years, where will I be? That's not helpful to who you are as a person, a soul, and energy right now. And I feel like a lot of the world is either stuck in the past or trying to throw their energy into the future. And next thing we know, we blink and we've missed years. So I think one of the best things we can do for the community and the spiritual community and the collective is to present a space that is very rooted in the now moment, is very rooted in the present times, and in the self and the healing and the interconnectedness of things. And it just seems to work, and it has worked for us immensely on a personal level with mine and Miss Keys' own development abilities, personal lives, sense of self, healing, that we just kind of were we just kind of assumed it was something that everybody could use a little bit of, you know what I mean? 1,000%, not to mention a lot of those are over-focusing on the future, certain spiritual topics can. Yeah, and it's one of those things, the whole goal is to be present, right? We're spirit in a vessel. I wanted to get Botox. Spirit is who we are. Energy is who we are. But we came boots on the ground to be human this lifetime. Lead to spiritual psychosis. The journey is finding your authentic. Yeah. And that's the thing, present in the moment. Yeah. And that's the thing, we came to be boots on the ground. We came to be human. So as much as we love and don't get me wrong, I'm cosmic, I could go, you could get lost in conversation with me, but it's one of those things, it's balance in everything, and that's the reason that we are titled the way we are, Child of Balance. That's the reason we say balance, finding balance and oneness in all things, because it's the truth. That is the goal. There is space and time for everything in moderation and in balance. So you can have cool, fun, whimsical stuff, but at the end of the day, your booty's got to be rooted and grounded in the fact that you are a spirit in a vessel, because that's important. You're coming here to be in a vessel for a reason. You could have stayed up in whatever to poop if you just wanted to be spirit the whole time. So over here we just have a different perspective, unapologetically, but a different perspective. So we truly believe the people who need us and are of like mind, body, soul, spirit, whatever, will find us when they need to on their journey. We just try to make ourselves readily available. Dang, I got kicked off. Now it's time for me to get ready for work. Oh, well, thank you, Crow, for hanging out. Thank you for chit-chatting with us. I hope you have a good day, dude. Have fun. Enjoy the rest of this Saturday, you know. Alright, guys, we're going to do last call. List is open. We're doing last call. My subscribers is 1555. You already know we're going to do great things. And my non-subscribers is 1888. So if you would like something felt into or pulled on, we got Cash App, we got Venmo. And then keep in mind, while we're waiting for anybody who may want to jump in on last call, we did just launch a coupon code. It's right here. You can log it in at checkout on the website. It's Dueling My Shadow 50 for 50% off a dual read space with me and Miss Keys of Wisdom 369. So if you're planning on booking that space or you've been thinking about it, now's your time to grab it. I'm only keeping that coupon open at the moment for 1 month, so it'll be open now until 5/31. So feel free to use it, you know, have fun. Okay. No worries. No worries. You do? For what? What, for like tummy problems? Or are you just doing shots? Alright, hold on. I'll be right back. Alright, Miss Alli. Do you have a topic or a question that you would like felt into? General? Alright. I want to ask you what are we hurling ourselves over, and that's the way that I want to say it, and I'm not necessarily sure why, but what are we completely yeeting either out of our life or hurling ourselves over the obstacle, is the way that I want to say it. It's like coming in all the balls, like balls to the wall, and just full decision making, full triumph, full oomph is the way that I want to say that. Because I just feel like this precipice of energy being like, now or never, and then running full bore at hurdle is what it feels like. But I want to tell you, I feel like this is you putting action behind your trust and faith. This is you fully igniting the, I don't want to say that. Fully igniting the fuck this energy and grabbing both reins of your chariot and being like, ha-cha, bitch. That's the way that I want to say it. If you have been tired lately, it's okay. Because there's a part of you grabbing full grip of your reins and being like, let's go, that is ushering you straight through transformation in the form of, they're saying in the form of trust, in the form of like your emotional body is the way that I want to say it. Not even so much your mental body, but your emotional body. And they are saying that whatever this hurdle has been for you, it is something that you have mulled over. They're using the word mulled over. And it could be possibly for months now, you've mulled over this decision. And I do have this King of Cups in reverse kind of energy out here. So I don't know if this is a person, but it is masculine energy for sure. And it is something that you has been weighing on, I'm going to say your psyche, has been weighing on your psyche. You stopped hiding in plain sight. That's the way that I want to say this. They're commending you for no longer hiding in plain sight. And they're pulling me directly back to you making yourself smaller than you had to be in the past. To be, I want to say more easily like palpable. That's the way that I want to say it. Like, to make it they're making me feel like for someone to stomach you, like this is the way that it's coming across. I'm so sorry. For someone to eat you, to stomach you, to be able to handle you, you made yourself smaller. You diminished yourself in the past, and they're like, that's not it anymore. But they're calling you hidden in plain sight because you're also the person that nobody thought would do this, and you're also the person that has been underestimated by pretty much everybody. Like, by pretty much everybody is the way they're saying it. You ran straight through your fear, and you're moving forward. I want to tell you have no regrets, is the way that I want to, the way that I want to say that, is that you have no regrets. But whether you realize you have no regrets as you come out here as the Queen of Cups, as a bridge, that matured emotional woman with all the self-security, which is fantastic. But they're talking about how part of this breaking and busting through, because they are using the word busting through, like you're punching out a ceiling. Busting through is part of you breaking cycles. And I don't think you realize how large these cycles are, because I feel like you see them on a cellular level. Cellular. I feel like you... Back up. I feel like you see it on a self level, in a who you are level, and a this is my pattern level, this is my problem level, this is my healing level. But they're telling you to take a zoom out. They're telling you to take a zoom out and to look at it as a this is like a we level, in that this is something that has been carried, is the way that they're saying it. Excuse me, transmutation. This has been carried through your lineage, and this has been a seed, is what they're saying, that has been passed. They're saying from daughter to daughter. They're not even just saying from child to child. They're saying from daughter to daughter. You're bridging through to your era of peace, and I mean that in the best way possible. You're not quite there yet, because you're still finishing out your transition. You're still finishing out your battle, is what I want to say. Busting through fear and having no regrets, grabbing your chariot and charging forward to what you truly want and what you desire. Your unapologetic stage, because it's not at completion yet. They're not placing you in a peaceful state yet. But they do have it out here as a bridge, and I feel like that's where you're landing after completion of this transitional state of being, is the way that I want to say it. Now, they're reminding you on self-care, really huge right now, in more ways than one. Not just time for self as physical resting, not just time for self as physical resting, but... do you have a lot of screen time sometimes? Because I'm feeling like pressure in my eyes, specifically my right eye, that I've only gotten when I've like done all-nighters on the laptop kind of deal, and it's giving me that feeling of like a lot of screen time and kind of putting wear on your system and like your eyes, and they just keep pointing me to your eyes. So I don't know if you're getting eye upgrades right now or if you're having eye problems. But they are talking about resting in the fact of not having to work so much, and giving yourself that kind of self-care of the pause. There's something else with self-care here, though, that's hitting me more than just like your typical self-care. I don't know how I want to ask that. There's something else here about self-care. It's like, it's more than just like taking a bath and relaxing. It's not. It's like more like, it's giving the feeling more of like self-validation, like self-compliments, like the quieting state of things, being on a different level, like a self-acceptance and like giving yourself kudos almost, because I want to tell you might not do that very often. Oof. Yeah. Whatever you are challenging right now, whatever you are busting through, whatever you are doing that is allowing you forward movement right now and is allowing you to continue to pursue yourself in a greater scale and the things that you want out of life and out of your healing, there's a part of acceptance and going with the flow that they're just reminding you to not fight. To not fight. Because there's a part of this that is an active struggle sometimes. Even sometimes in a minute way. Yep. You're gonna blow by people, and I mean that in the best way possible. This is your blow by you season. Because I got my wind card out here, and it's not just talking about change, it's not just talking about movement. They're physically showing me like a race car, and like, and like you just completely like sideswiping blowing right past people because you're moving so quickly right now that it appears as though everyone else is standing still, and it might irritate you. They're warning that it might start to irritate you. You're like, come on, what the F? And you're like looking around, like, how hard is this? Right? And like, because you have this clarity as you start moving through some of these things and getting to your happiness and your family and your loyalty to self. I don't know why that's important, but your loyalty to self. They are warning that you will be irritated by the people who are moving slower than you, so they're just reminding you to be humble. Because you were once the slow-moving person. Like, you were once the person that was moving slowly. I'm going to throw these sass cards, and I'm not necessarily sure why, but they've been side-eyeing me. So, woo! So we'll do that. I think I dropped one. I did. Hold on. I dropped one. So we'll do this, and we'll see. We'll see what they want to say with the sass cards. Now, I don't know if I've ever done sass cards where you're here, but they require no intuition for me. But we shuffle them like tarot, and they're just fun. They usually come out pretty on point. Don't forget to speak your truth. Don't forget to speak your truth while you're through this transition. You can choose to do it in a nice way. But if you feel called to say something, please say it. Please say it. Because this is part of a no longer denying yourself that is extremely important. There's a lot of cards. They're particular. Alright, here we go. You got 2, Miss Alli. In order to love who you are, you can't hate the experiences that shaped you. Ooh. I'm going to read that one again. In order to love who you are, you can't hate the experiences that shaped you. Anything truly cool about you was created from the life you've lived. Remember that when you start to wind down the shame spiral, no time is wasted, no love is wasted, no tears are wasted, no breath is wasted. You being you is important, and every single time that made you is of value. Tell shame to suck it. That's that self-love we were talking about. Told you these things are on point. This is your second one. Stay away from people who make you feel like you're hard to love. Damn. Stay away from people who make you feel like you're hard to love. Even if you've acted like a big old asshole, you still deserve to be around people who see the goodness in you and point it out. If they find you hard to love, they ain't your people. Extra credit. Someone pointing out that you've acted like an asshole doesn't mean they don't love you. Figure out if you're getting tough love or no love. You'll be way less of an asshole when you learn the difference. Oh, Miss Alli. Do you have any questions? Do you have anything you want clarification on? Or something we talked about or something like that? I'm gonna clean this up, and then I'm gonna scroll back through these comments, and then if you do, feel free to just launch them down, and we'll answer them. You know how we do it. You know how we do it. We'll just answer them. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I guess it's just that kind of day. Oh, Kalilia. It'll be okay. I don't get bad vibes. Hi there. Angie here. Do you perhaps see if I will get the job soon? We can try to feel into it if you would like. I can do a career reading for you. Everything's paid. We're doing last call right now. But if you would like, I can do a career reading for you. Everything's paid. We're doing last call right now. Whew. So, I don't know what is going on with Talk, but it just does not like us. I don't know what it is. I know, I froze up again, I know. So I can do a love relationship read for you if you would, or not love relationship, I can do a career read for you if you would like, but everything's paid. It's $18.88 for my non-subscribers, and it's $15.55 for my subscribers. Miss Alli, do you have any questions? Love those SAS cards. The SAS cards are on point, and especially when you do them at the end of the read, it's so wild how much stuff is just confirmed, and I just think it's kind of cool, but I don't do them all the time. Only when they're like, pick me up. I've had to pop out and back in. Definitely not the norm. No, something's going on. Welcome in, Claudia. Thanks for the share. Something's going on. But I just want to make sure that, Alli, you don't have any questions. You don't need anything clarified. Because if you do, I would love to do it before I pop off here. Because clearly, the team's like, today's not the day. So just let me know if you don't have any questions. You sure you don't have any questions? You don't need anything clarified? You are satisfied? You sure? Or do you have like one of them hidden questions that you want to ask but you don't want to ask? Welcome in, Jay. Well, as long as you're satisfied, Miss Alli, thank you for allowing me to feel into your energy. Thank you for your time and your space. And for letting me talk and chit-chat with your teams. I hope this helped in some way, shape, or form. Just further reiterate that you're not going backwards. You're just going forward. It might just seem a little bit rough, like a rough patch every once in a while. Thank you for everybody who has spent their time, their energy, and been holding space in this room all day while we've been live. 50% off dual spaces as far as shadow work healing goes is happening right now. Use the code DuelingMyShadow50 and it takes 50% off of the first session. You only have to book one session at a time, so there's no loss here. There's no loss here. But you guys asked for dual spaces, so we delivered. And then you guys are always like, I don't know who to book with, blah, 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 blah. So we just took it off the table. You don't have to worry about it. And for those who are worried about, I don't know if I want to do shadow work, this is the best thing to do, because you not only get to talk to both me and Miss Keys of Wisdom for an hour and a half, but you get to learn how we talk and maybe who you would like to work with on top of 50% off, and you get to dip your toe into the shadow work area of our website. So, nothing to lose, all wins. All wins. But thank you so much. I will see you guys later tonight. And we'll be back on doing reads probably around 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So thank you so much for your time, your space, and your precious energy today. Try to live authentically as possible every day that you can. It is extremely important, and it is what the energy demands lately. So thank you so much. I will see you guys later. Maybe. It kicked me out 10 times and it's not going to let me log off. This is how it's going to be.